This is 7 Questions by Vogue, and we're here with Miss Aliza Nazareno to talk about one of her subjects, veterinary microbiology. Good morning, Aliza.
Good morning.
So, are you ready for our questions?
Yeah, sure.
Question 1. How is veterinary microbiology so far?
For me, it's very complicated, but still, I find it interesting and fun.
So, about your subject, what was the last lesson that you've tackled in your laboratory?
Let me check my manual. I think it's here. Exercise number 11, enumeration of bacteria.
What about your lesson now?
That's exercise 12, the effects of environment on microorganisms. I read about it earlier and it's actually very exciting. We are going to manipulate some factors like temperature and pH to observe its effects on the growth of different species of bacteria.
Wow, that's amazing. But before that, can you enlighten us on a brief description about what microorganisms are?
For starters, microorganisms are everywhere, but they are so small that we barely see them. But they are not only limited to bacteria, they can also include viruses and protozoas.
They say that the environment has effects on microorganisms. Can you tell us why is that so?
Microorganisms are sensitive creatures, and just like us, they need proper conditions to grow and multiply. So this is your best friend Yuri, and we've been talking about our exercise later. For ours, what are your thoughts about it?
I don't know much about it yet. Can you help me to demonstrating it later?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I think it's going to be fun.
Okay, bye.
Bye. See you later.
So, we've been talking about your exercises so much. Why don't we go to your microbiology lab?
Actually, that's a wonderful idea. Let's go.
So, one last question before we end. What do you think are the factors that affect the growth and survivability of microorganisms?
Some of the things that you're talking about include factors like pH, temperature, the environment itself, oxygen present, and nutrients like carbohydrates.
What a very great answer. Thank you, Miss Aliza, for entertaining us. See you again sometime.
See you.
First thing first, microbe needs to consider 6 things in order for them to live. These 6 things are also known as factome. F for food, A for acid, T for time and temperature, O for oxygen, and M for moisture. For this video, I'll be focusing more on the second T, temperature. So, why is temperature listed as one of the factors affecting microbial growth? Well, temperature actually plays a major role in the microbe's metabolic process and cell morphology, or in other words, the shape of the cell. This further explains why most bacteria can be destroyed in 70 degrees Celsius and would die in 150 degrees Celsius for an hour. However, one thing to keep in mind is that you cannot stop microbes from growing by only exposing them to low temperatures. The microbes may only be dormant or inactive in that state. Well, each species of microbes has their own optimal temperature range, which they can grow exceptionally well in. And with that, we can classify them into a few groups, which are psychrophiles, mesophiles, thermophiles, and hyperthermophiles. Now, psychrophiles or syrophiles, they are the microbes that grow well in lower temperatures starting from -10 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius, and they are the one behind your spoiled food in the fridge. Mesophiles, they are the ones that prefer room temperatures which are roughly around 20 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, and the common optimal temperature for them to grow best in is the average body temperature, which is 37 degrees Celsius. In an additional note, pathogenic or disease-causing microbes are normally these guys. Finally, the last 2 groups that we have are the thermophiles and the hyperthermophiles. Thermophiles are the group that is capable of thriving in relatively high temperatures that ranges from around 45 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius. However, most of them cannot survive below the 45 degrees Celsius mark. Therefore, you can usually find these guys in hot springs and mud volcanoes. For the hyperthermophiles, they are basically the tougher version of thermophiles that prefers 60 degrees Celsius and above. This group, however, has an optimal temperature of 80 degrees Celsius, which they grow best in. And there you have it. These are the effects of temperature on microbial growth and the classification of microbes according to their temperature tolerance. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.